Good morning, everyone. It's Patricia Love, your life's cheerleader.
Good morning. I'm Christine Morgan, your cheer coach.
Hello, Christine. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Patricia?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Looks like we got a few people coming on here. Oh, here we go. We got definitely some people coming on. This is awesome. Hope everybody's doing awesome today. And they're really getting into the Christmas and holiday spirit. I know I've been wearing my hat. In fact, I was going to wear my hat and I didn't wear it. Oh my God. So anyway, Christine, how you doing? Everything going well?
Yeah, getting into the swing of holiday time. A lot of you know I'm in school, so I'm finishing up a semester. That feels nice, getting big papers and presentations and such done.
Awesome. And also, while we're waiting just for, there's some people still popping on. If you got some questions, please put them in the chat area now. So we don't want to miss any questions, or if there's something that's on your mind that you want to talk about, or some Christmas things. Are you stressed out about certain things? Is Christmas stressing you out? Do you have some thoughts and ideas on what we've been talking about for our challenges this month, as far as, all I want for Christmas is to not be broke? So if you got any thoughts or ideas, please put them in the chat area, because this is the time where you can ask questions, and any question your little heart desires. So let's make sure we start doing that. So we'll wait here for just a couple minutes while people are kind of getting on here, which is awesome. And
let's talk a little bit, Patricia, about our challenge this month, about the this concept of all I want for Christmas is to not be broke.
For me, this is really comes to my heart, because I was in a huge debt for several years, and I had to get out of this debt. And at Christmas time, it would always be a burden, to be honest with you, to be a burden as far as, oh my God, somebody expects me to buy a Christmas present. Oh my God, I got to spend $100 here or $50 here. And I really at the time just didn't have a lot of money. And as the older I get, I'm trying to save money for, retirement and put money away. And I always felt the December 26th or January, when the bills came, I'm like, oh my God, I'm now in debt, or I have to pay this off because I charged it, say. And so for me, this concept of trying to get to Christmas out feeling broke, I think a lot of people feel that way. I think that they don't talk about it, but I think they kind of feel that way. What do you think, Christine?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's so much pressure put on spending money and finding the perfect gifts and doing all these things around Christmas time. And I'm not sure how that came about, except probably commercialism.
Oh, really good marketing. It's really good. I actually put that in one of my emails, that the marketers are so good these days, you almost feel like you're obligated to buy.
Truly. And so, and finding the perfect gift. And so in order to do that, of course, you have to spend even more and more money. And I would say it's probably been almost 10 years or so since I stopped buying gifts. And I just kind of let everybody know that that was something I wasn't going to do anymore, and that they didn't need to do for me, and that it would just be a time where we could get together, or sometimes make some things, but just try and make it spontaneous instead of feeling pressured and expectation filled.
I agree. I mean, I do that also. I really kind of suggested the last few years. I think we talked about it a little bit before, but is really letting people know that I really would like to enjoy your company. Maybe we could get together in January for coffee. Maybe we can have a Christmas potluck or something like that. And really, it means it's more meaningful. And I found that a lot of people were actually they let out a sign of relief. It was almost like they wanted to say this, but they felt like, oh my God, it's Christmas and I need to purchase something. But by me saying, hey guys, I'm trying to save money this, but I want to spend time with you. I want the holidays is really about a spirit and family and friends. But I really trying to save money so that in January I'm not in a panic mode. And I think the honesty of that, I think that they appreciate it. They're like, oh my God, Aunt Patricia, I'm so happy you said that because I don't have the extra money. And come January, I'm always in panic mode. So it takes me sometimes 2-3 months to even pay those off when I could be saving money for school, or I could be saving money for putting even 10% money away for retirement, something. And it was a big relief. And I think that we don't note that enough, that we think that we're in this all alone. And there's a lot of other people thinking the same thing. So I think we need to be maybe put that out there a little bit. What do you think?
I think that's a really great point. We're not the only ones who feel this way.
Uh-oh.
I remember thinking those January bills and wondering, what did I even buy? How did it even come up to this amount? And just feeling that sense of overwhelm. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. So I love that. There is a sigh of relief when we share with each other that vulnerability of, hey, like I need to be real here for a minute.
Yeah, I think it's just being honest with yourself and honest with others. And it's amazing when you actually become more honest with yourself and say, you know what, I just really can't afford to do this. Or yes, I can do it, but it's going to stretch me. And do I want to feel stretched in January when the new year should really start off? I mean, that's the hope, right? Is to start off fresh and clean and clear and work on goals. And when you got this big cloud over you because I just spent all this money for Christmas, it's almost very discouraging. And I think that there's hundreds of thousands of people that feel this way, and then they just kind of get off on the wrong foot and come January. And I know that when I've done this now the last few years of not really buying gifts and just sharing, myself, or sharing or thinking of other creative ideas to do instead of buying gifts, that I started off January a lot better. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm not freaking out. I'm not panicking. I can actually feel like I've met a goal rather than actually waiting till January to fix my goal because I messed it all up through December.
Yeah. So we have a few comments too, in agreement, that from our members, that sharing food is a great idea. One of our members says, I'd rather hide one day a year than 364.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, we've got to, get through that 24 hours. And it cracks me up how early Christmas season starts for shopping.
It's now before Halloween.
Yes, and that is really a spending ploy and marketing, like you were talking about.
Yeah, and I find that we just need to stay strong, because even myself, who I'm pretty strong. I'm strong mentally. And I'm always the first one that says, oh, that's a marketing ploy. But I got to tell you, there's been a few times where I'm like, oh, maybe I should. It's almost like they act on the guilt.
Yeah.
They're really working on, and it works. And we really need to build again, which is what Life Cheerleader is about, obviously, is to building our self-image to the fact that, no, wait a minute. That's just a ploy. I got to be strong and believe in myself, that I don't need to go out and spend that or believe in that. I will do what I think is right and not what they're trying to tell me to do. And the other thing that I might bring up too is if you do have to find maybe little gifts or presents, which is kind of what the challenge is about this month, is trying to be creative and trying to look at things in a different way, is really bringing out your creative side and finding ways to do things without spending money. I mean, what are some ideas that you might have? Or do you have a couple ideas? I sent one out to the members this morning. Be curious if anybody's seen that yet. My balloon one, which is I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it could be a lot of fun on a Christmas day. But anyway, do you have any thoughts, Christine, on some thoughts or ideas?
Oh, I think there's all kinds of creative things. I remember one year painting little pots, like plant pots, and like little vases. And we, a friend and I just painted several of them, put a cheap little flower. In fact, I have a spider plant sitting by me here that keeps making spider plant babies. And so I took all those and we planted them in little pots, and that, you know, that was a $10 gift. We bought all these pots and was able to spend just $10 to do something for a whole bunch of people. And I think food products can be really fun too, you know, like baking.
Yeah, I think that's some great ideas. You know, when you said the
Especially if you
pot, go ahead. You froze.
Oh goodness. Well, so I was talking about making, did you hear the whole part about making the little painting pots?
I heard that.
Okay, and then I was talking about cooking, like making food, baking together, especially if you can involve children in doing that. It's fun to bake.
Well, I think cooking is fun. In fact, the other day I actually cooked some oatmeal raisin cookies. And my brother's a diabetic, and I'm also eliminating sugar out of my my lifestyle or my life as much as possible. And so I went and I created some oatmeal cookies, which they were actually pretty darn good. And I was really shocked that I did it. I put it in a little nice little bag and I gave it to my brother, and he was like so happy because he doesn't cook or anything like that. And of course, I don't cook either, but I thought, well, but he knew I did that from my heart, and so it really was very meaningful to him. But I wanted to go back to your idea on the pots. I think that's a great idea. You know, you can go to the Goodwill or Salvation Army. I think they have some things, and also like Value Village, I believe it is, and they got all kinds of little miniature pots. You can pick up some, like I've seen them for like, some of them I've seen even 10 for $1 or 10 for $10 or something like that. And you could paint on them something like inspire or be happy or you rock or something that may be dedicated to that individual. Mm-hmm. And then, because everybody loves like a flower or a plant, you know, something that, but something really cool that maybe is more like, so that's a great idea, Christine. I love that idea.
Oh, good. Yeah. And it was,
I may have to take that on.
It was really handy. In fact, it's sitting right here. Okay, so this is my spider plant. I've had this spider plant for over 20 years.
Whoa.
I know. I don't know how I've managed, but it grows these little extra spider babies. And these little things, if you put them in a wet paper towel, they'll grow roots of their own. And so that's kind of what inspired that gift that year, because it had made so many of these. And then I just kind of started breaking them off. And I even had the free plants to do it. So that was a really fun, cheap gift I did one year.
And that's being creative. And I think that the idea of the challenge this month is really stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit and being creative. I know there's a lot of members that are very artsy and creative, and I love that. But I know there's also some that have emailed me and go like, I don't have a creative bone in my body. And I think that we all have some creativity. Sometimes we just need to stop and think about the creativity. It's like when I went to this party the other night, and this is how my balloon thing came about. I mentioned it slightly on the video, but they had these balloons, and they had blown them up, and they just threw them all out. There must have been 15 or 20 of them, and that entertained so many people for probably a good half an hour. Mm-hmm. And people were interacting. There was energy, there was synergy, there was all kinds of things. It was a lot of fun, and I actually got a little exercise, you know, trying to like pop, you know, so they wouldn't hit the ground. And the little kids were there doing the same thing, but the adults got into it too. And so that was my idea, was, opening up as a small gift, but also putting in maybe putting like faces and things on the balloons, and like little hair, and ribbons and creating stuff so that some of them were funny looking, or put the word inspire or something on them, or you rock for like a little kid and he can play with this balloon. It's amazing what entertains these kids, especially if they're 2 and 3 years old, right? With, you know, they, or 1 or 2, they get so excited about this little stuff that, you know, they kind of think that's more important than, it's kind of like, we have cats, right? Now, I don't have these children, but we have cats. What is the best gift that we give our cats?
It's usually the box or the string that goes with it. That's the wrapping.
Or the paper bag. That is so true. And if you really think about it, kids are very much like that. I've seen kids take the boxes and build forts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another great idea. Like even on Christmas Day, if there's a bunch of boxes, maybe create a little fort for them out of the Christmas boxes. You know, that kind of thing is just really is what we remember Christmases. And that's what's most important, is remembering the fun Christmases. And trust me, the adults get such a kick out of this that it's heartwarming. And those are the things that they remember too. So I think we just need to get ourselves in a little bit of balance and realize there's so many things that we can be creative about. Especially if you become aware and are looking at things like this party I went to. That gave me the idea, like, oh my gosh, I could do this. So just kind of opening yourself up and being more aware of what's around you. So we don't have to spend a lot of money for Christmas, because I don't want you guys to be broke in January.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
You know, I love these ideas that you've got too, Patricia, because they go along with the mini series that we're doing right now as well about lightening up. So last week we talked a little bit about incorporating play into our lives, and we need to play more. Like that's a way to make our lives more joyful, and coming up with balloons and different fun building forts. Like this is the exact kind of thing we're talking about in our mini series too.
Exactly. It really is. And I hope everybody's enjoying it, about lightening up. It's so, I really embrace it, because I'm definitely a kid. I like to goof off and I like to do dumb things. And well, some people might think it's dumb. I just think I'm just being childlike. But it makes me feel so good. And I know when people play, their ideas come out better. Your creative energy starts to flow better when you just play. And there's all kinds of videos and stats and science about this, that you need to turn on that whole fun part of your brain to really expand the analytical part of your brain. I know when I play more, I think better. Now, because I'm taking my mind off of things. It's just like I was playing, and you'll see I was playing with the balloons, and my kids are just really being happy with all this. The furry kids, you know, they're like, oh my God, my mom is crazy. You know? And it really is important to lighten up and help other people lighten up. Like when we are out and about, you know, like smile at them and say, hey, I hope you're having a happy Christmas. And actually, I've changed my thing. Instead of having a great day, I'm starting to say, I hope it's a happy day. Just I'm trying to change it up, you know, and do something different. But just I'm trying to think of creative things to say to people to make them smile. You know? So what are you doing to lighten up? Because I know, Christine, we have to keep you lightened up once in a while. This girl gets a little serious on me sometimes, so I have to like do some like hee-hee-hees.
Yes, definitely. Well, I think you're right in that furry friends can definitely help us lighten up. There's this moment every morning I have where I'm coming downstairs, and I have 2 cats, and they want their breakfast. And so they run down the stairs in front of me, and the picture is the cutest thing ever, and it makes me laugh every morning as long as I pay attention to it. So I've really made a point of paying attention to watching these little tails run down the stairs, because they're so excited to go get their breakfast.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny you say that. And I know that a lot of members have furry babies. So, and I think that furry babies are always, whether it's a dog or cats or a rabbit or whatever, they're very dear to our hearts. And I think the same thing. I am aware of it. I have my 2 girls who live in Maui. some of you met Hula, they sometimes sit right at my door, like together. I mean, literally, they don't do anything till I actually get out of bed. They're really good at that. But they sit right at the door, sitting at there, like staring at me. And I can't help but just get out of bed and start giggling. Like, are you kidding me? You guys look like two little statues. You're just sitting there like, okay, we're waiting for you to move and get up, Mom. So it puts a smile on your face and laughter. So I hope everybody during this month of, of lightening up and not feeling broke, embrace and become aware of what really is around you, and the spirit of lightening up, the spirit of choosing to give things from your heart, things like that, and just giving your heart to people and things, and lightening up on life. Because gosh, everybody is so serious sometimes. I saw a lady in the elevator yesterday. She had all these bags, and she was carrying all these bags, and she just wasn't smiling. And I'm like, you don't look very happy. And she says, oh, I just went shopping. I just don't really like it. I said, but guess what? You're home now. And she's like, well, you're right. I am home. And it was over and done. And it was like she just needed something to get her out of that. Oh God, I just had to beat myself up going shopping. It was like, no, I am home. And so she started smiling. So it's the little things that we need to do to get people to lighten up. So do we have any other people here that have got any questions?
I think a lot of what happens around Christmas time can relate to expectations and comparison. And if we're able to let go of those two evils, for lack of a better word, we really can have a much better holiday season. The expectations of ourselves, of what we're supposed to be, who we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to do, what we're supposed to buy, what we're supposed to make. And then the comparison of, oh, I'm not as creative as she is, or, oh, look at her Pinterest, making skills. There's all the kinds of jokes about Pinterest fails, like, because there's so many great creative things on there, but then when people try them, they never work out quite right.
Right.
It's that kind of comparison and expectation. And if we can let go of those elements, then we really can enjoy the people that we love, enjoy this season of cheer and love, because that's what the season is supposed to be about.
I agree. And, I think that we all compare sometimes. I mean, even coaches, we are human like everybody else. And we live a certain lifestyle. We try, we make choices, but we all catch ourselves comparing. So I don't want you ever to think that, hey, I'm the only one that compares, or you might be the only one that compares. We all do it, but we have to realize that they have something special over here, but so do you. You have some special things that you do. So you can't compare to each other, because they do things just a little bit differently. Because you are unique, or we are all unique in our own way, and we're funny in our own ways. We offer so many different great things to people in our own way, and we just need to embrace that and be self-aware of that. Because I used to do that a lot, compare like, oh, they're smarter than me, or they're more creative than me, until I actually started doing some stuff and started doing a little art and think like, you know what, that's just not bad. And start praising yourself. Start telling yourself you're good. I praise myself on a regular basis just because it's like, you know what, that's good, girl, you're doing good. We've got to instill that in ourselves, because it's so easy to compare, especially during this type of year. And especially if you don't have a lot of money, it's really easy to say, oh, they got all this money, they can really make a Christmas that's wonderful. Not true, because I remember the Christmases that I wasn't necessarily given a present. I remember the Christmases that I remember the spirit of it, and there was something great about it. It wasn't the gift that I got. In fact, I can't even remember the gifts that I got in most cases.
I can't either. That's not what's good in my mind either. So.
Yeah, and so we have to really remember that you're special, and you don't need to spend money to have a great Christmas. You don't need to go broke in January to have a great Christmas. I want you to have a great life. And Christy and I both, we want you all to have a great life. And that's choosing to do fun and things and make other people smile, giving back. And I think the videos that people can make, like a heartfelt video, and give it to somebody, telling them how you feel, how you care. Oh my God, that's something that probably will keep for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are the kinds of things that I know I would like. Because getting me the iBox or an iPhone or whatever, if I really want it, I'll go out and buy it myself. You know, anyway, I'm really big on that, not spending money, because I want to make sure that you guys are happy in January. And this is why all the creative ideas we're coming up with this month, and also just lightening up during the month so that we can have fun and play.
Yeah. I think there's one last question maybe we can work a little bit on. Okay. About sometimes Christmas isn't always joyful for people. Sometimes this can be a really tough time of year. And so I'm wondering, Patricia, do you have maybe a tip or two about if Christmas time is hard, like if it's more of a sad time than a happy time, do you have some ideas for how people can kind of work through the holiday season?
Well, a couple things that I've done, because we all have a little downtimes once in a while. And what I really do is, again, I really start trying to be more aware of the smiles around me. I have to really take the time, but I will turn on happy music. I won't necessarily turn on Silent Night, by the way, or I won't turn on Angels on High, but I might be turning on Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. You know, things like this change my mood. And that really is what it's all about, is you're just kind of going down a tunnel that maybe is not the best tunnel to go down. And it's really just changing your mood, changing your perspective, that you actually can help you get out of it. And I use music a lot. I use my furry babies. In fact, Hula just sneezed. That just about, I wanted to crack up on that one. And you know, things that of laughter, of light videos, comical videos. Don't watch the news so much. That's a bad one. It puts us in a down mode. Try to look at lightening things. I have the Hallmark show on a regular basis. I'm watching all the Christmas Hallmark things, and they just make me smile. I mean, I start crying with happy things, and I know the ending. I know how would they end. They all kiss, and it's all happiness, but it makes me smile. So do you have any last tips? We're just about at our 30 minutes here. So do you have any quick tips?
I would say for that kind of situation, for me, one of the best things I've found is to volunteer. If I'm not having a real good, and this is a great time of year to find volunteer opportunities. I've gone and helped wrap presents for kids, all those presents that people donate for Toys for Tots or to local missions. Somebody needs to wrap those. And so I've gone and helped do that. And that camaraderie, or working in a soup kitchen, helping pack food boxes, all those kinds of things can really lift your spirit when we step outside of ourselves and help other people. And when we do that, we also connect with other human beings. And I think that is the best medicine for when you're feeling down in the dumps. So that's my tip.
I agree. And just a quick last minute, it's really just taking the focus off yourself. That's the bottom line. And when we take the focus off ourselves and focus on other people and helping others, it changes our mood completely. So I think that would be the last key tip there that you just said, Christine. So, hey, this has been great, you guys. These 30 minutes always go so very fast. Remember to come into Life Cheerleader. Yes, we do. We will put this in the archives. I think one person just asked us if they could see this again. Yes, we'll have them in the archives. And also for anybody that's jumped on here, thank you for coming. This is what we do at Life Cheerleader. We motivate happiness and inspire others and support you. So have an awesome Christmas, everybody. And hey, what's the thing? All I want to do is Christmas is not be broke. So send me all your thoughts and ideas.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.